Beowulf and the Dragon. In a land long ago, there lived a kind and brave king named Beowulf. He was loved by all his people, for he had saved them from many monsters in his younger days. Now he was old and wise, and his kingdom was a happy place. But one day, a new monster awoke. It was a terrible, fire-breathing dragon. A thief had stolen a shiny golden cup from its treasure cave, and the dragon was very, very angry. It flew over the land, breathing fire and scaring everyone. Beowulf knew he had to protect his people one last time. He put on his strongest armor and took his sharpest sword and his biggest shield. He was old, but his heart was still as brave as ever. He walked to the dragon's cave with his bravest warriors. But when the dragon appeared, roaring with a sound like thunder, all the warriors ran away in fear. All of them, except for one young man named Wiglaf. "I will not leave you, my king," Wiglaf said bravely. "You have always been kind and good to us. I will fight by your side." Beowulf smiled, proud of the young warrior's courage. Beowulf shouted a challenge to the dragon, and the dragon roared back, a sound that shook the ground. It flew down from the mountain, a whirlwind of fire and scales. The dragon let out a huge breath of fire. Beowulf raised his shield to protect himself, but the fire was so hot that the shield began to melt. The dragon was too strong. Beowulf swung his sword at the dragon, but the blade broke against the dragon's tough scales. Beowulf was hurt, and the dragon closed in, ready to win. Just then, Wiglaf rushed forward with his own sword. He saw a soft spot on the dragon's belly and thrust his sword into it. The dragon let out a loud roar of pain. With Wiglaf's help, Beowulf gathered his last strength and struck the dragon one final time. The dragon fell, defeated. Beowulf and Wiglaf had saved the kingdom together. Beowulf was badly hurt. He told Wiglaf, "You are the bravest of all. You will be the new king, and you must always be brave and kind to our people." The people honored Beowulf as the bravest hero who ever lived, and Wiglaf became a wise and good king, just like Beowulf, ruling the land with courage and kindness for many years to come. Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, in a small cottage, lived a boy named Jack and his mother, Beatrice. They were very poor and had only one cow left. "We must sell the cow, Jack," said his mother with a sigh. "Then we can buy food to eat." Jack took the cow to the market. Along the way, he met a mysterious old man who offered him 5 magic beans for the cow. "These beans are special," the man said. "They will bring you great fortune." Jack, feeling a sense of adventure, made the trade. When Jack returned home with only 5 beans, his mother was very upset. "Oh, Jack, what have you done?" she cried. She threw the beans out the window and sent Jack to bed without any supper. The next morning, Jack woke up to a strange sight. A gigantic beanstalk had grown from the spot where his mother had thrown the beans. It stretched all the way up into the clouds. Jack knew he had to climb it. Jack climbed and climbed, higher than he had ever been. When he reached the top, he found a magnificent castle hidden in the clouds. He walked up to the enormous door and pushed it open. Inside the castle, he met a kind giantess named Kindra. She saw how small he was and told him to hide. "My husband, the giant Thump, will be home soon, and he is very grumpy," she whispered. Just then, the ground began to shake. "Fee-fi-fo-fum! I smell the blood of an Englishman," roared the giant Thump as he entered the room. He sat down at a huge table and demanded his magical goose. The giant commanded the goose to lay a golden egg, and it did. He then told his magical harp to play a song, and it played a beautiful lullaby. Soon, the giant was fast asleep, snoring loudly. Jack crept out from his hiding spot. He grabbed the goose, and then the harp. But as he ran, the harp cried out, "Master! Master!" waking the giant with a start. The giant Thump chased Jack all the way to the beanstalk. Jack scrambled down as fast as he could. When he reached the ground, he grabbed an axe and chopped at the base of the giant stalk. The beanstalk toppled over, and the giant fell with a mighty crash. Jack and his mother were safe. They were also very rich, for the goose laid golden eggs every day, and the harp played beautiful music for them. The Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs named Pip, Percy, and Peter. They were old enough to build their own homes, so they said goodbye to their mother and set off into the big world. They were excited to start their new lives. The first little pig, Pip, was a bit lazy. He met a man with a bundle of straw and thought, "This will be quick and easy." He built his house in a single afternoon and was very proud of it. The second little pig, Percy, was a little more careful. He met a man with a pile of sticks and decided to build his house out of them. It took a bit longer, but he was pleased with his strong-looking stick house. The third little pig, Peter, was the most thoughtful. He knew a house should be strong and safe. He found a man with a cart of bricks and worked hard for days to build a sturdy brick house. One day, the big bad wolf came along. He saw the straw house and licked his lips. He knocked on the door and said, little pig, let me in." But Pip, who was hiding inside, squealed, "Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." The wolf growled, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." He took a deep breath and blew with all his might. The straw house collapsed in a pile of flying straw. Pip ran as fast as he could to Percy's house. The wolf arrived at the stick house and knocked. Little pigs, let me in," he roared. Pip and Percy shouted back, "Not by the hair on our chinny chin chins." The wolf huffed and puffed and blew the stick house down. Pip and Percy ran to Peter's brick house, their hearts pounding. The wolf came to the brick house. He huffed and he puffed, but the brick house didn't even shake. He huffed and puffed again, but it was no use. The house was too strong. The wolf was very angry. He decided to climb onto the roof and slide down the chimney. But Peter was smart and had a big pot of boiling water waiting in the fireplace. The wolf fell right into the pot. He yelped and scrambled out of the fireplace, running away as fast as he could, never to be seen again. The 3 pigs were safe and sound. Pip and Percy learned a valuable lesson about hard work and building things to last. They all lived happily ever after in the sturdy brick house, safe from any huffing and puffing.